With all this media chatter about the Republican establishment launching an assault on Donald Trump, we turn to Mike Murphy, who ran Jeb Bush's $100 billion super PAC and has also been an NBC commentator and Time magazine columnist. Here's our conversation from Los Angeles in his first television interview since the Bush campaign ended. Mike Murphy, welcome.
Good to be here, Howie.
Do you think that the media have pumped up Donald Trump while being unfairly and unduly negative toward your guy, Jeb?
Well, I think Jeb got a bit of a hard treatment from the media. He had the misfortune of being the kind of quality issues experience candidate in a year where people seem to be looking for a circus. And Jeb doesn't wear clown shoes. But, you know, on we go. The voters are always right, as they say, and now they got to pick somebody.
Right. But you early on dismissed Donald Trump as a zombie front runner, using your words, and said he was other people's problems, not the Bush campaign's problem.
Well, I called him a zombie candidate because I don't believe he'll ever be elected president. I think if he could be nominated, definitely he's now the delegate leader. But if nominated, I think he'll lose in a landslide to Hillary Clinton, which is one of the tragedies of Trump. But we'll see if I'm right or wrong. He's definitely done better in the primary than I thought. When I talked about he wasn't our problem, I meant early in the race with so many candidates, we had to concentrate on getting the regular Republicans behind us so we could face Trump later. I knew he'd eventually be our problem, but he wasn't. We didn't think our problem back in April.
Hey, guess what? You're not the only person who underestimated Trump. All the journalism business did as well. But speaking of regular Republicans, this has become a very big story with people from Romney to Ryan to you as Jeb's guy, all piling on Trump, trying to stop him, trying to slow this train down. But he's running against the establishment. Doesn't this, in a way, help Trump that you're all beating him up?
Well, it's a problem of arithmetic. I mean, Jeb was the first to take on Trump, and I'm proud he did. I'm proud of what Mitt Romney did. But let's look at the actual numbers. Trump's got about 40% at best of the party that's for him, 55 to 60% that opposes him. The problem is there are so many candidates, the anti-Trump vote is getting split up. And if you were to pick one candidate who was in the strongest position to be the anti-Trump right now, it's probably Ted Cruz, who's equally terrifying to the establishment. So it's a real pickle. I think the most qualified guy now running is probably Kasich, but I've got some good news and bad news for him. I called my dad in Detroit, who told me he's voting for Kasich in the Michigan primary, but my dad is a Democrat. So
Okay.
It's hard to see a path for Kasich or Marco Rubio, who'd also be a lot better than Trump.
Right. Now, you've gotten a fair amount of bad press in this cycle, Mike, because as the head of Jeb's super PAC, you spent millions and millions of dollars, much of it on negative ads against Marco Rubio, only a small fraction against Donald Trump. And some people say, well, you know, you certainly scuffed up Rubio, but you helped the guy who's now the front runner.
Well, over half our spending was on positive Jeb ads. We spent more than anybody else taking on Trump, just like Jeb took him on in every debate, while others were in the witness relocation plan, seemingly unavailable. So, you know, look, we fought our corner hard. We had the quality candidate. I'm proud of everything we did. I make no apologies.
But did you miscalculate? Did you miscalculate and go after the wrong guy?
No, because we knew early, because we wanted to consolidate, and then potentially it could come down to Jeb and Trump. But early, we were competing against Scott Walker, we were competing against Marco Rubio, we were competing against everybody over in our category. So the problem is this year, the voters are looking, at least half of them, and unless we consolidate, Trump's plurality will see him probably to the nomination.
Well, let me jump in here because I've got half a minute. Yeah. If somehow you and the other remnants of the Republican establishment do derail Trump, won't that cause huge anger on the part of all the people who are voting for him?
Well, no, look, one, I'm not part of anything. There's an anti-establishment establishment. I'm just a Republican primary voter now. I don't speak for Jeb Bush. I don't think Trump would be good for the party or the country. What'll happen? If we beat him fair and square, it's great. If we can't beat him fair and square, he's not going to get beat.
Well, you may be just a Republican voter, but you're very active on Twitter. Mike Murphy, thanks very much for joining us.
It's the future. See you, Howard.